Hello, everyone. I am here to go through the BGSUGD program standards, and I want you to understand that these are the same as they always have been, except that now that we're working remotely, I think there are some things that are worth mentioning and calling out specifically. So I will give you an opportunity to sign this digitally through Canvas, but at this point, I want to process some of my interpretations of how we'll be working with the program standards as we're going through the remote application this semester. So as normal, this document outlines the attendance grading, loss of digital files, safety, cleanup, plagiarism, classroom etiquette, makeup test, and incomplete policies of the division. And you must agree to these policies by signing the form. We'll be doing it digitally because obviously we're working digitally this semester. So do make sure that you understand what you're signing and that you are identifying that you're aware the policies are in addition to the School of Art policies and procedures, as well as the College of Arts and Sciences. And of course, you are expected to follow the BGSU Student Conduct Program, which is linked to if you have any questions about what that entails. So your responsibility as a student in the course is that essentially we are putting the responsibility on you to be in charge of your education. This semester is especially important. You're transitioning from student into graduate, and you have to find the organization and the strength and all of the things in order to help you get successfully transition from one place to the other. So we expect you to be active and engaged in the pursuit of knowledge and ask questions and be curious. You get what you give, so your participation is highly encouraged to get the most out of the class. And that means participating during class. And I'm going to talk about ways to engage within the remote format. If you're unsure about something, it is your responsibility to talk to me about them. I can't help you if I don't know. But at the same time, I can't solve the design problems for you, of course, but I can help give you some sage advice on ways that could be more successful than others. So they will offer concise critique of your work and are available to you during office hours. Make it a point to see them, to see me often. My office hours, as usual, are by appointment, and that means we will find something that works best for both of us. The attendance policy is the same as normal. You're expected to be in class at the designated times. Some of the work that we're doing is asynchronous this semester, and some of it happens at specific times that you need to be present for the entire time. And if you're not, it will be documented. So it is at the instructor's discretion whether special circumstances will exempt you from a missed class. Generally, that means a doctor's note, and obviously we're in the middle of COVID, so it's certainly a concern. However, what this also does not mean is that you should not waste your absences because we don't know what's going to happen this semester, and you want to make sure that you're able to be present and engaged. So 3 lates or early departures equals 1 absence. If you turn your camera off and I call your name and you're not there, it's pretty obvious you're not there. You know, there's some things that give us hints that you've left. 3 absences, written warning from the instructor. You still have the absences even if I don't give you a warning at that time. At the point of 4 absences, your final grade is lowered by 1 letter. 5 absences, it's lowered by 2, and 6 absences is failure of the course. You're way too close to graduation to have things like this become a problem for you, so I know it's not going to be an issue this semester. There's something new that we've implemented called the engagement policy. And this is specifically addressing the challenges of working in a remote environment, but it transfers to whether you're working remotely or in person. And it's essentially that you're expected to actively and passionately take part in this course in the following ways: attend class meetings online, screen on when appropriate, and dress properly, decent posture, avoiding distracting behaviors, lying in bed, eating obnoxiously, etc. Create things and be prepared to show them on time for critiques and discussions. Make things work thoughtfully, intentionally, and with intensity. Meet all deadlines for handing in work in process. Actively participate in critiques and discussions, both in person and online. Now, this class is only online, but showing up and being in person on our remote conversations is important. Be actively curious about making things and the things that your classmates make. And you're not going to feel actively curious every moment of every day, but this is a good one to fake it until you make it. And then care about yourself and your work, your classmates and their work, this class, and your profession. And again, some days you're going to care a lot more than others. Same idea, fake it till you make it if that's what you need to do. Winter weather can be hard, all of that stuff. This is going to help you show up. The way that the course is graded is that the work follows the standard grading from the normal scale within the university. I'm not going to go through that because that hasn't changed. The critique process and feedback hasn't changed. Do you want to highlight distracted viewing or participation either through the use of a computer or phone is not acceptable, nor secondary conversations, distracting comments, inappropriate aggressive comments, et cetera, et cetera. I love a lively chat box on the side of whatever we're working in. That's not a problem to me if it's on topic and on task. And oftentimes it's a way for people to collectively engage. But at the same time, you should not be streaming something on another platform and disengaged. We only have like 25 times that we're going to get together this semester. Let's make the most of them. Digital files, so imperative. You are required to save your digital work as well as maintain regular and complete backups. Missing, lost, later, corrupt digital files are not excuses for not handing in your work on time. So if your final portfolio is in jeopardy because you didn't back up your files, you've left yourself very exposed, and that's very, very dangerous. So missing files will be totaled as a 0. You have to be accountable. It means save your work in multiple ways. Use the cloud, use multiple storage devices. Not everything should be saved on your laptop. You know how easily it is to easily done it is to destroy a laptop? It doesn't take much, even though they seem pretty impervious. So back up your work multiple ways, multiple places. Your craft, all work is required to meet professional standards of quality of craft, including both digital and physical elements of construction. You're not handing in physical work this semester for this class, but we can tell when things are crafted well, and the digital craft is very, very essential. General safety wise, working from home, you should still use precautions. Don't get stuck in places without ventilation. Don't use spray mount in your house, that kind of stuff. You can eat and drink as much as you want during my class, as long as it doesn't distract other people. There's a from working from home kind of bonus. We will not be displaying work in the traditional way in this course. If you have work that you need to bring into the university to photograph or to hang up or to somehow display, make sure that you're hanging them in designated appropriate places and have permission to be hanging if it's not the BGSUGD space. As always, plagiarism is grounds for failure of the course and or academic dismissal. Don't do it. If you're using stock imagery, and you're purchasing it or you're using the rights to it and you indicate as stock imagery, that's not plagiarism. Passing off someone else's work as your own is plagiarism, and that's what will not be tolerated. Etiquette, you're going to be doing readings and assignments outside of class. Because this class is really full, I don't plan to do too much lecturing during class. Most of my lectures will be delivered as videos that you can watch on your own time. And so our class time will be primarily for interacting with one another, one-on-one critiques, small group critiques, preparing for the senior show, that kind of thing. Most of the formal academic stuff will be delivered in an asynchronous way so that you can, so that it allows me to be more places at once. We're not going to have quizzes and tests in here. Incompletes are a really big deal at graduation. You don't want to get in a position where you need one. Get your work done, be as healthy as possible, come to class. If something does happen, because life invariably throws unexpected curveballs, we'll deal with it. You need to communicate. You can't just drop off the face of the earth and show up on the last day expecting for things to work. And then I'm going to just lightly touch on sustainability. BGSU is a signing member of Designers Accord. We want you to think about sustainable practices. I encourage you to click through and look at that a little bit further. Things can be really, really small levels of change by reducing your printing, but also challenging you as designers to think about ways that are more sustainable practices that can really be critically considered to build sustainable practices. That's what we're asking for you to think about. In terms of diversity and inclusion, we do fully support freedom of speech, but absolutely will not tolerate hate speech of any kind. Any work that promotes or visualizes violence or hate on the basis or attributes such as race, religion, ethnic origin, national origin, gender, disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity will not be permitted. If you'd like to read more about diversity and inclusion, there's some excellent resources here compiled by AIGA, a lot of reading lists and things to consider. But at the end of the day, this classroom is not a space for that, period. If you require any modifications for whatever reason, we don't have tests and things in here, so they might look a little different depending on what your needs are. Please make sure you reach out to me with documentation so I can accommodate you. That keeps it equitable for everyone, and I'm happy to do so. Um, Code of contact, there's a link. Religious holidays. I think the university is observing things primarily on the academic calendar. And if our class hits something where there's a conflict, let me know, but I don't believe so. And um, we're probably not going to have a snow day this semester because we are working remotely. And then there's just some resources and things. So I think that pretty much takes us through the end of the program standards. Again, the biggest challenge I would suggest is finding ways to stay engaged in the online platform. And we'll talk about that more as we go out through the semester. So at this point, if you've finished watching this video or you've read the document, you can navigate into the place on Canvas to sign your document. Thanks, and I will look forward to seeing you online this semester.